we're going to miss him a lot. It's a great deal. We're going to miss him very, very much.
The Hmong community in the valley and around the world is in mourning tonight after the death of their revered leader, General Vang Pao. And that is our top story tonight. Good evening. I'm Liz Harrison. Warren Armstrong has the night off. The general passed away this afternoon at the age of 81 following a brief battle with pneumonia. Tonight, friends, family, community members, they're all joining together to remember a man who led a people to freedom and saved the lives of some hundreds and thousands of U.S. troops. We have live team coverage tonight, beginning with Action News reporter Shannon Handy. She's live in Clovis, where people from all across the valley gathered to show their respect. Shannon?
Liz, the mourners have since left here, but after leaving the hospital, the general's body was taken here to the Boyce Funeral Home. The funeral director allowed people to file inside and view his body. Now, this, of course, has been a very emotional day for the Hmong community as news of his death spread quickly. General Vang Pao died inside Clovis Community Hospital around 4:45 Thursday afternoon. By 7 o'clock, hundreds of mourners had already gathered outside. Many of them cried and knelt on the ground as the general's body was rolled out. Mourners followed the general to the Boyce Funeral Home in Old Town Clovis. Per Hmong tradition, the 81-year-old's body lay on a stretcher inside the home where people had the opportunity to say goodbye to their beloved leader.
That's a great loss. He was like a lot of people, especially the Hmong community, view him as the father, the leader.
Speaking on behalf of the family, the general's distant grandson explained what he means to the Hmong people.
The population here has cared and loved him for so long. So, and not only that, he is, like I said, the apex or pinnacle leader of our community.
General Vang Pao made his last public appearance at the Fresno Fairgrounds on December 26 during a Hmong New Year celebration. That same day, he was admitted into Clovis Community Hospital, where doctors later diagnosed him with pneumonia. Maya Zhang hosts a news program for KBIF, the Fresno-based Hmong radio station. She says during the general's hospital stay, she fielded calls from all over the world regarding his health. During Thursday's show, people called in to mourn his death.
On air, everyone's been crying, saying, you know, he's like a father to us, and without him, it's like we don't know what to do.
Funeral arrangements are pending. The service will likely be held at the Fresno Fairgrounds sometime within the next 7 to 10 days. 30 to 40,000 people are expected to attend. Reporting live in Clovis, Shannon Handy, ABC 30 Action News.
Thank you, Shannon. Traditional Hmong funerals last anywhere from 3 to 12 days, and they are quite elaborate. This is video from the 2007 funeral for Shia Tao Vang, who was married to the general. She was also known as, quote, the mother of all. Traditional Hmong beliefs include a form of reincarnation. The elaborate ceremonies are meant to guide the deceased to the afterlife and protect them from evil spirits. The general's life of service stretched from the front lines of the Vietnam War to communities across America, including Fresno. He was held in reverence for both his role as a soldier and a savior. Action News reporter Jean Hagenson continues our team coverage at the Fresno Hmong War Memorial with a look back at General Vang Pao's life. Jean?
Well, Liz, this statue, this monument behind me depicts Hmong fighters rescuing an American pilot. It symbolizes the heroic role the Hmong had in America's war in Indochina. Because of this service, thousands were eventually allowed to immigrate to America, where they continued to be led by their general. To the Hmong people, General Vang Pao held a special place. Fresno City Council member Blong Zhang says to his people, General Vang was more than a hero.
As George Washington, Abe Lincoln, Dr. Martin Luther King, those type of leaders.
He became a military leader at an early age, battling Japanese invaders as a teen in World War II, then fighting for the French in the 1950s. He was named a general in the Royal Laotian Army as they battled the communist Viet Minh, then fighting for the Americans during the Vietnam War, which spilled into Laos and Cambodia.
He'll always be remembered as a general. I mean, this guy was a field commander.
Veterans advocate Charlie Waters worked closely with General Vang in fighting for the rights of Hmong veterans who fought for America.
They saved hundreds and hundreds of pilots' lives that crashed in Laos. he and his forces would go out and rescue them.
And in the process, they lost thousands. After the Vietnam War, the Hmong were abandoned, but through the efforts of the general, many were allowed to immigrate to the United States. Thousands settled in Fresno, Merced, Minneapolis, and Madison, Wisconsin. Through it all, he remained their leader.
He was like a king. Truly, they treated him, he was special. But he was not like above them. He was down with them and for them. And they could come to him. And they did. They came to him any time of the day or night. And that's why he's so weak. That was why he didn't have any strength.
Waters said the general continued seeing and counseling his followers from his hospital bed right up until his death.
It's hard to come up with words to describe what's currently happening. I mean, it's a sad and day for the Hmong community, not only here in Fresno, but throughout the state and in the U.S. And I'm pretty sure the news will be out internationally if it hasn't.
Now, because of his status and his service to the United States, efforts are being made through Congress to have General Vang Pao buried at Arlington National Cemetery. In downtown Fresno, Gene Hagenson, ABC 30 Action News.
Thank you, Gene. Fresno Mayor Ashley Swearingen released this statement tonight in response to the general's passing. She writes, "The Fresno community is deeply saddened by the loss of General Vang Pao, who was a hero to the Hmong community here in Fresno and all across the country. General Vang Pao was courageous in times of war and a giant in the advocacy of citizenship within the Hmong American community in times of peace. He displayed the American flag proudly at every community event he held. He was an American patriot of the highest order." Dozens of people have been offering their condolences on our ABC 30 Facebook page. A viewer named Dur wrote, "News of the general's passing has hit the Hmong community hard. A majority of the elders are in a state of shock and mourning. Please keep him, his family, and the Hmong community in your thoughts and prayers." And Michelle writes, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Hmong community all around the world, but especially to those we know in the Merced area where we live." And you can post your comments on our Facebook page and stay with Action News for continuing coverage of General Vang Pao's passing and reaction. And we will post any funeral arrangements as soon as that information is finalized on our website at abc30.com.